global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. From the feelings we're getting, 2027 is going to be an interesting election year. As the North are beginning to speak up, the question is, did they not know what to expect? You're going to find out as top politicians from the northern part of the country are beginning to speak their minds ahead of time. Well, before we go into the news proper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. Use a bell notification icon. Please go ahead. Click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Now, the former Katsina State Governor, Masari, has tackled the Northern Elders Forum (NEF) over its regrets for supporting President Bola Tinubu, saying the Northern Elders endorsed Tinubu on expectations and not principle. Masari stated this in an interview. Now, according to Masari, for anyone who supported President Tinubu to turn back in less than a year to express regret only meant that the support was based on expectations and not principles. The former governor said it was too early in the administration's year for most of the criticisms it has suffered. He added that the forced subsidy removal that had plunged the country into untold hardship was equally promised during the campaign by the other leading candidates or leading contestants in the 2023 presidential election. Masari said, and I quote him word for word, those who say they are regretting supporting him, which is Tinubu, are saying it because they did not support on principles. They supported him on expectations, and when those expectations were not met for them, then they could say they regretted it, he said. The problem is that some of us stood for principles, which is in supporting Tinubu, and a government that has come to serve for 4 years has served for 6 months and 9 months, 1 year, and you are passing judgment on it? That is absolutely wrong, he said. Masari said the economic crisis in the country are not peculiar to Nigeria alone. Now, reacting to the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Atiku Abubakar, and his Labour Party (LP) counterpart Peter Obi, who have been very critical of the APC-led government policies, Masari said there was no magic the opposition could have performed to ameliorate the pains and the sufferings Nigerians are going through within the period Tinubu has been in power. He said, and I quote him word for word, some of the people who are talking now, their own would have been worse, since during the campaign, all the political parties, including those who are talking now, didn't they promise that they would remove some? He also continued by asking the same question that is in most people's mouth. He said, is there any political party that did not campaign on subsidy removal? Let us not go there, because we are Nigerians, we are bad losers, and sometimes the winners are supposed to be more accommodating and patient. That's the price of leadership, he added. Now, calling on Nigerians to trust the process, Masari said, the president has promised that he is aware of our pains. If he had said there was no pain, even we in the same party would have challenged him. Now, recall that the NEF, that's Northern Elders Forum, said last month that the North made a mistake in voting Bola Tinubu to the presidency in 2023. Now, the NEF spokesman, that's Abdul Aziz Suleiman, in a statement said it is unlikely that they will repeat the same error in future. And the statement has generated varying reactions, and the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, berated the forum. Of course, many Nigerians have been reacting. My colleague is in the house, but let's just quickly take 1 or 2 reactions online as things are unfolding. Somebody asked and said, now, principle we go chop. Oga, if you don't know what to say, just keep quiet. Whether you supported him on principle or on principalities, your people are still suffering worse than they suffered during Buhari's time. Your casino is now hungrier, more unsafe, more uninhabitable than before. So keep supporting failures in principle because you have roots to fall back on. We still have 4 years or 8 years of waiting for this mistake to somehow go away. But if history is of any importance, after 8 years, Buhari and his close friends ended up as the only winners, while the whole nation of 225 million people lost out. My God, another person says people should stop distracting this administration to allow them to work. There's no distraction anywhere. If you actually have something to offer, it begins now. But let's tell ourselves the truth. My colleague is in the house. What's your take on this reaction that they're giving right now, insisting that they made a mistake and is saying they actually, voted in on grounds of what they're expecting from the administration, not on principle, that it should have been on principle.
All right. On the issue of leadership, I must say that President Bola Tinubu did not do well. Why I say that is, if you are a mother and you're coming back from the market to meet a very hungry family, the first thing you would do is to prepare indomie at least or something very fast for them to use it first of all and do what and calm down their hunger. Then you can now go into cooking that big pot of soup, which at least they will wait for you to cook. At least they have used something to calm down. But this one, you stepped in, and when you stepped in, you started it. The people were hungry. You decide even to send them to work when they have not even eaten. What do I mean? Bola Tinubu would have started with the immediate needs of Nigerians. And the first of all is to see how you can improve on the refineries so that the prices of fuel will come down. But up to today, what we are seeing in the name of so-called removal of subsidy, the prices of everything has skyrocketed. And he told us to give him some time. Some few days ago, I heard this guy, what's his name, Dangote. Dangote said that by the end of the next 4 weeks, that the issue of fuel shouldn't be a challenge. We don't know how true that will be. But I feel that certain things that he would, if truly had a plan for Nigeria, there are certain things he would have rolled out so early. For example, this gasoline kind of cars, CNG kind of cars, you roll it in when you have removed the subsidy immediately and make sure that it is spread across the 36 states, ensuring that that will be used centrally for this thing, for transportation. And the fuel the gas will be sponsored by the state government. They will fill this thing, and then it will be fully managed by the state government. At least let it run for the next 2 months, 2 years, so that the people can at least breathe a breath of relief. You understand? But you came in, you remove subsidy, electricity subsidy, you started putting tax everywhere and all of that. There's no way that this thing can work. Now, another issue on ground right now is you now decide to pick up something like hash to subsidize. Is it not for some few persons that are going? Is it Nigerian business? That one is what do they call it? Is religious fanatism for me. Whether you are going to Jerusalem, whether you are going to Saudi Arabia, that's your business. It's personal. There's something you need to focus on. Look at Nigerians now. The issue of food has become a challenge. And somebody is busy talking about it. See, for me, I don't see even some of the very key projects that the president has rolled out. Some of them will be completed when he's 8 years in office. For example, this Lagos Calabar coastal road stuff, they will be completed. I mean, that is why you see people are still crying and screaming. I feel that at the start, there are some things that are key. You first of all hit those things first. When you hit them, and then the people are like, "Oh, thank God, there's a relief." Then you can start rolling out whatever plan that you have and all of that. That's just my point. For me, I don't see this government coming out smoking at the end of it. It's going to still end up just like that of Buhari.
Oh, well, let's not condemn them yet. It's just 1 year, like they rightly say. Let's see how it plays out. That's going to wrap it up. Let's meet in the comment section. What's your take? Have a nice